Welcome to all of you. This is the first time interacting with all of you in this pattern. Generally, we'll be always having the face-to-face discussions, but this is the first time we are having a discussion through online. So now, as you know, this discussion will be prolonged, will be continued for this 10 to 15 days tenure. As we are all completely occupied, completely closed, everything is closed due to the corona effect. Now, this is the time to use the technology to the maximum extent. Now, from today, let us start something called as education from home, right? Okay. So, as we had continued in our earlier class till section 80E, and we had left off few sections such as 80DD as well as 80DDB. So, what I will do first, we will cover 80DD as well as DDB. We will do a problem on combination of all 80C to 80DDB. Once we done this, we'll be moving on to section 80EE, 80EEA, 80EEP. So all these things which we'll try to discuss. Okay. So section 80DD. Section 80DD. What is this? Section 80DD is basically about any sort of medical expenditure incurred. Any sort of medical expenditure incurred for treatment. Treatment of what? Dependent. Okay, treatment of any person who is called as dependent. Who is the dependent? The dependent is someone called as disabled. So, any sort of expenses incurred for treatment of medical expenditure incurred for the treatment of dependent disabled, then ultimately the SSC can take the benefit of section 80DD. Now, before proceeding further, we need to understand to whom this section is applicable. So, if we try to understand the applicability here, basically this is applicable to resident individual. So, only if the individual is resident individual, then only he can take the benefit of this section. So, resident individual can take the benefit of this section. Okay, if he can, resident individual can take the benefit of the section, or any person who is an HUF. So ultimately, two persons only. Applicability is for resident individual and HUF. No other person can take the benefit of section 80DD. Now the next thing is conditions. What are the conditions? Conditions, basically, I can say three conditions are applicable in this case. If the three conditions are satisfied, then he can take the amount of deduction. Now, we'll come to the conditions later. First, let us try to understand what is the amount of deduction. The amount of deduction is based upon something called as the disability. For the purpose of this section, the disability could be either severe or the disability could be partial. Disability, partial disability, and something called as severe disability. Partial disability as well as severe disability, these are the two things which are mentioned as per the Act. Who will certify? Because the income tax department need an assurance that really the disability is partial or really the disability is severe. For this, he need to obtain a certificate from the prescribed medical authority. That's what is one of the conditions. If the disability is partial, the amount of deduction which the SC can claim is nothing but 75,000. If the disability is severe, the SC can take an amount of deduction of 1,25,000. Now, what are the conditions? Condition: incur expenses for medical treatment. So, any person who is a resident individual or HUF incurring any sort of expenses for medical treatment of dependent disabled, ultimately he can take the benefit of this section. There may be cases where the treatment may not be done immediately or the treatment may not be required immediately. The doctor says the treatment for the dependent can be done in future, not at this point of time. Then ultimately the SC need not incur the medical expenses. Then what he will do? He will invest in a scheme of life insurance corporation. The scheme is nothing but the annuity plan. He has to invest in scheme which is nothing but scheme of annuity plan. Who is issuing? Issued by life insurance corporation or any other insurer. Any other insurer is doing this, or it could be done by, he can invest that also in units of UTI, or he can also invest that in any mode which is specified by Central Board of Direct Taxes in accordance with directions of Central Board of Direct Taxes. That's what is the second condition. Third condition, as we have seen, the deduction is based on disability. As a deduction is based on disability, SSC should obtain a certificate from whom? From prescribed medical authority. From the prescribed medical authority, this person need to obtain a certificate. If he obtain the certificate from a prescribed medical authority, then ultimately I can say all the conditions satisfied, then he can take the deduction based upon the disability, either 75,000 or 1,25,000. And one more thing, there may be cases where the individual who has made the deposit in annuity plan has expired before the dependent disabled. Then ultimately what will happen? The amount which was invested, the SSC is investing some money. The amount which is invested now will be received by whom? Will be received by the dependent disabled, or if the SSC appoints a nominee as a trustee for the dependent, ultimately it will be received by such person. So once the SSC expires, the money will be received by dependent disabled, or the money will be received by the nominee who is appointed by the SSC as a trustee for the dependent disabled. Clear? Now, in case of death of the SSC, who is SSC here? SSC could be resident individual or the SSC could be HUF. So ultimately in the case of death of SSC, in money amount invested will be received by whom? Will be received by dependent disabled or nominee. Dependent disabled or nominee acting as a trustee for the dependent. Now, okay, one thing we need to consider: who is dependent? Who is called as dependent? Okay, we have seen this section is applicable to resident individual and HUF. Now, and we are considering that this section is applicable for the medical treatment of someone called as a dependent disabled. Now, who is called as dependent? Let us try to understand. As there are two categories of SSC. One is what? Individual. Okay, you are having individual as one category. Okay, any person who is called as individual or any person who is called as HUF, for both the categories of people, this 80DD is applicable. So now, in the case of individual, who is called as dependent? Any person who is a spouse or who is called as the children of the SSC or parents of the SSC or brothers, or they could be sisters of the SSC, provided they are completely dependent upon SSC. If those people are dependent upon SSC, then only they will be called as a dependent. If those people are not dependent upon the SSC, we cannot call them as a dependent. Now, let us see. The next one is what? HUF. For the purpose of HUF, any family member will be considered as a dependent. Now, if we quickly close section 80DD, what is this? Medical expenses incurred for treatment of dependent disabled. 1. Applicability for resident individual HUF. 2. Dependent is what? Spouse, children, parents, brothers, sisters, completely depend upon SSC. In case of HUF, any family member. This person has to incur treatment expenses for the dependent disabled or invest some money in a scheme of annuity plan of life insurance corporation or any other insurer or UTI, units of UTI or any other prescribed as per the CBT. And this person should obtain a certificate from the prescribed authority stating the disability is partial or either severe. Depending upon the disability, either 75,000 rupees if the disability is partial, 1,25,000 rupees if the disability is severe. Some cases, the money invested in an annuity plan, the SSC has expired before the dependent, is received by the SSC. Or it may be received by the nominee, who is appointed by the SSC, who is acting as a trustee for the purpose of this dependent disabled. That's what is something called as section 80DD. Now, If this section is clear, okay. So now what you do, just take a note of section 80DD. So once you take a note of the section 80DD, what we'll do, we'll go into section 80DD, right? So just note down section 80DD. I hope you had taken a note of section 80DD. Now, in that case, let us quickly move on to section 80DD. So, what is section 80DD? First of all, let us try to understand that. Whenever any SSC is incurring any sort of medical expenditure, for what? For treatment of specified disease. Say, section 80DD also speaking about something called as medical treatment. But what section it is? Medical treatment of a dependent disabled, then that goes to section 80DD. Whenever it is the case of medical treatment of someone who is suffering from a specified disease, then ultimately we are supposed to cover under a part of your section 80DD. Now, to whom it is applicable? Same. In the terms of applicability, there is no change between 80DD and DDB. 80DD, to whom it is applicable? Resident, individual, as well as HU. Same case in the case of 80DDB also. It is applicable in the case of resident, individual, and HU. Then, coming to the next case, dependent. Here we are calling that medical expenditure in case of specified disease for self or the dependent. Who is called as dependent? Same. There is no difference between definition of dependent for 80DD as well as DDB. 80DD also says the same thing. Spouse, children, parents, brothers, sisters who are dependent in the case of individual. In the case of HF, any family. Coming to 80DDB, the SSC can incur medical expense in the name of self, for the treatment of self, for the treatment of dependent, if they are suffering from specified disease. In case of HUF, the medical treatment of specified disease can be incurred on any other people. Now, what are the conditions? First condition, medical treatment has to be incurred. Then, once the medical treatment is incurred, the second condition is prescribed authority. Same condition as what? 80DB. SSC should obtain a certificate from the prescribed authority that either himself or the dependent or his family members are suffering or were suffering from something called as a specified disease. If the condition is satisfied, he can take the amount of reduction. What is the amount of reduction? Least of the following. What is that? Amount of expenditure incurred or 4 lakhs. But if the treatment is incurred for a senior citizen, then the amount of reduction is not 40,000, it is the maximum 1 lakh. So ultimately, amount of expenditure incurred or 1 lakh rupees in the case of a senior citizen if the treatment is for something called as specified disease. So the next thing is, what is the meaning of specified disease? Specified disease is something, if any SSC is suffering from cancer, any SSC is suffering from AIDS, any SSC is suffering from something called as chronic renal failure or hemophilia, or something called as thalassemia. So any of this disease is said to be called as a specified disease. Now, one interesting situation may happen. The SSC may also have some sort of insurance. Whenever any treatment happens, he may be getting some sort of money from the insurance company. Then automatically, as the amount of expenditure you are incurring and you are getting some money from the insurance company, ultimately the access, the amount of deduction should be reduced from what? Should be reduced with the amount of insurance compensation which you are receiving. So, to better understand this, let us discuss a problem. We'll look into a problem and we'll solve that. There we can try to understand the application of ATC, application of ATCCC, application of CCD, subsection 1, subsection 1B, subsection 2, and also 80D and also what? 80DD as well as section 80DDB. All these 5 sections, 5 or 6 sections total put together, let us do one problem so that we can have a better understanding of whatever sections we have discussed so far. Now let us see the problem here. Okay? Yeah. First, take down the notes. You just take on the notes, then we'll proceed further and we'll try to do the problem which is given there. Clear? So first, quickly take up the notes. Okay, so let us go to the problem. Mr. Shyam, a private sector employee, furnishes you the following information for the previous year 1920. Compute his total income. Basic salary is given, DLS allowance is given, servant allowance is given. He made the following payments in the previous year. Contribution to pension fund of LIC 1,10,000. Life insurance premium policy taken on 1st April 2025, sorry, 1st April 2015. Sum assured 2,50,000. Premium paid is 30,000. Contribution to pension scheme of central government 12% of basic NDA. The employer also contributes an equal contribution of 70,000. Medical insurance premium paid by check on life of dependent father being a senior citizen for 47,000 and 25,000 for himself on himself. Further 5,000 paid in preventive health checkup of his father. Medical treatment of his dependent mother, suffering dependent mother, resident individual, age 63, suffering from prescribed disease and disability. Some received from insurer 10,000 and some reimbursed by the employer 20,000. Total put together, the treatment cost is going to be 1,50,000. Payment to public provident fund is going to be 75,000. That's what is the story which is given. Now, if we quickly get into this, here basically there is a problem of your income from salaries plus 80 deductions. Now, let us see what are the 80 deductions which are involved here. What are the deductions which are involved? Let us see contribution towards pension fund of LIC. Is it not 80CCC? Life insurance premium 30,000. Policy taken on 1st April 2015. Sum assured is 2,50,000. Now what is this? This is basically not ATC. What ATC says? Any sort of insurance policy taken on or before on or after 1st April 2012, 10% of sum assured or premium paid whichever is missed. What is sum assured? 2,50,000. What is 10%? 25,000. Now 25,000 is 10% of sum assured. Premium paid is 30,000. What is waste? 25,000 is waste. So ultimately, as per ATC under life insurance premium, 25,000 is eligible for deduction under ATC. Now let us continue our discussion. Contribution to pension scheme of central government. Contribution to pension scheme of central government. Contribution to pension scheme of central government 12% of basic NDA. The employer also makes a contribution, equal contribution. What is the meaning of this? Is it not even national pension scheme? Any contribution by the employer and employee to the national pension scheme, employee's contribution is eligible for 80 CCD subsection 1. Employer's contribution is eligible to the extent of 80 CCD subsection 2. Anything beyond 1,50,000 the employer's contribution, that excess is eligible for 80 CCD subsection 1. That's what we have discussed in the previous class. Now, if we continue, in this case, medical insurance premium paid by check on the life of dependent father being a senior citizen 47,000. Any sort of medical insurance premium paid on self, paid on spouse, paid on dependent children, paid on dependent parents. Ultimately, if it is a senior citizen, in the case of parents, it is 50,000. In case of self, in the self, spouse and children, the amount is going to be 25,000. And we know along with that, 5,000 will be the preventive health checkup. Preventive health checkup can be paid in cash, but the remaining other aspects cannot be paid in cash. In this case, it is clearly mentioned as paid by check. So hence, what is the person is eligible? Premium paid on self, 25,000 is eligible. So here, 5,000 rupees is the preventive health checkup. Now, on whose health the preventive health checkup was incurred for? Being a senior citizen, what is the limit? 50,000. 47,000 plus your preventive health checkup, 52,000. But what the act says restricted to 50,000. So here, 50,000 is the health premium in the hands of the father. Okay, and 25,000 in the name of the SSC. So total put together 50 plus 25, 75,000 rupees the amount of deduction under ADD. Now, let us continue. Medical treatment of his dependent mother, resident individual suffering from prescribed disease and disability. Both the things are there. So now you should apply both. Specified disease his mother is having, and his mother is also having some disability. Now, as the problem does not specify about clearly about the disability, I don't know if it's a partial or severe, because the amount of deduction differs in the case of partial, the amount of deduction differs in the case of severe. Partial, what is the amount of deduction? 75. Severe, what is the amount of deduction? 1,00,000. So in this case, as it is not mentioned, you are free to take whatever assumptions is. So I am going to take an assumption that the the mother disability is going to be a partial but not going to be severe. Now, what is this mentioned? Received 10,000 rupees from the insurer and 20,000 reimbursed from the employer. Say just now earlier we have seen under 80 DDB, I had mentioned a point that wherever any treatment has been incurred and amount is received from the insurer, from the amount of deduction, and to reduce the amount you are receiving from the insurance company. So here, two things are there. Amount is received from the insurance company, at the same time amount is also received from the reimbursed by the employer. Insurance company is paying NC 10,000, employer is reimbursing 20,000, so total 30,000 rupees I have to reduce from the amount of deduction. Now we'll come to this when we are doing the problem there. Payment to public provident fund 75,000 is also eligible for ATC. Now in this case, in the problem you are having ATC, you are also having ATCCC, you are also having ATCCB subsection 1, ATCCB subsection 2 is there because employer's contribution is there. Maybe ATCCB subsection 1B could also be there. Now before that I need to apply ATCCE because ATCCE is what? ATC plus ATCCC, ATCCB subsection 1 should not be more than 1,50,000. That's what is the point we should consider in mind. Now let us try to solve the problem. Now, what is asking there? Compute the total income. Computation of total income of Mr. Shyam for the assessment year 2020 is as follows. Right? Now let us see. Is as follows. Now, in that, what is first? Particulars. Let us consider the other column as your amount. Right. Particulars as well as amount. Now let us see. Now, first, let us go back to this. He is telling you are having basic salary. Now, let us take, of course, this all, how do we compute the salary? We'll discuss when we are going to the income from salaries. And for the time being, our objective is not to know income from salary. Our objective is to understand how we apply section 80C to 80U. That's what is the only our objective. This we'll discuss in our upcoming classes. For the timing, let us consider my basic salary as what? 4 lakhs. So 4 lakhs. My basic salary is going to be 4 lakhs. Now, okay. 4 lakhs. Now, my basic salary is going to be 4 lakhs. Now, what else is there? Dearness. He is mentioned as dearness allowance amounting to 2 lakhs. Then what? He is also giving you something called as servant allowance. All these allowance are taxable. Of course, as I said, this will discuss it later. Servant allowance amounting to 15,000. Now, so next is what? He has made the following payments, but one more point is that contribution to pension scheme of central government, employers contribution to NPS is allowed as reduction in section 80. It is also taxable as salary income. Of course, this point I will clearly discuss when we are going through the salary income. So, contribution by whom? By employer to national pension scheme. How much? What is the amount he is contributing? 72,000 rupees is the amount which is contributed. So it's here. Contribution to pension scheme of the central government. The employer also made the equal contribution amount to 70. What is the meaning of that? Employees' contribution is 72. Employers' contribution are the same as 72,000. Now, this is nothing but your total salary component. So now let us do the total of this. Okay, so gross salary is coming to be 6,87,000. Now, last class we have discussed that when we are discussing section 80A, there we have discussed one point. 80 deductions should be provided from the net income but not from the gross income. So ultimately, chapter 6A deductions I cannot provide from my gross salary. I have to provide from my net salary. What is the meaning of net? I need to deduct something called as my standard deduction. Of course, this will discuss when we are covering income from salary. So at present, as I said earlier, our objective is not to focus on salary income, but your objective is to focus on something called as 80 deductions. Now let us see standard deductions. Standard deduction. So ultimately, as per the Act, Finance Act 2019, the standard deduction you have to consider it as to be 50,000. So ultimately, what your income from salary is going to be 6,37,000. From this, what I have to do? Reduce my chapter 6A deductions. As we know, there are 3 deductions. So total, we are having 80C, 80CCC, CCD subsection 1, CCD subsection 2, CCD 80D, 80DDB, as well as 80D, 80DD. So these are the deductions which you are having. Now, let us go with one by one. 80C, CCC, CCD subsection 1, if applicable, CCD subsection 1B. We will do this as a part of your working note number 1. Then we'll move on to working note number 2 for your 80D, working note number 3 for 80DD, working note number 4 for 80DDB. Now let us see here. As we have read the question earlier, we are having life insurance premium. What the provision says, any insurance policy taken on or after 1st April 2012, 10% of sum assured or premium paid, whichever is least. Sum assured is what? 2,50,000. 2,50,000 to 10% is what? 25. Premium paid is what? 30. What is least? 25,000 is least. Expenditure paid is 30. Eligibility is what? 25. That's what is the amount of reduction he can claim. Then he is also telling you contribution to pension fund of LIC. What is pension fund of LIC? Ultimately, pension fund of LIC is subject to 80CCC. Amount of expenditure is 1,10,000. Eligibility is also 1,10,000, but subject to 80CCC. That will come to that later. Now, contribution to pension scheme of central contribution to pension scheme of central government. 12% of basic salary. The employer also made an equal contribution 72,000. Employer's contribution 72,000. Employee's contribution 72,000. Employer contribution already we have considered there as a salary income. Now employer's contribution I have to consider as what? 80 CCD subsection 2. Now let us see here. Here how much I have to consider? If you remember the provision, amount of contribution or 10% of salary whichever is least. Because in the problem, the employer is not central government. Mr. Shyam, a private sector employee. If it is a central government employer, then ultimately 14% of salary to consider. Now, what is the meaning of salary for this section? Basic plus DA. Basic is what? 4 lakhs. DA is what? 2 lakhs. So total 4 plus 2, 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs into 10%. On the 6 lakhs, if I do 10%, how much you are getting? 60,000. 60,000 or the amount of contribution. What is least? 60,000 is least. So that's the reason you will be taking under 80 CCD subsection to 60,000. Now let us come to the employee's contribution part. Provisions remain the same. So under 80 CCD subsection 1 also 10% of salary or amount of contribution whichever is least. Now what is least? Same case again 60,000. I'll be considering this as contribution paid is 672, but eligibility is coming to 60. Now medical insurance premium paid, we'll discuss that later when we finish off this 80C. Then let us see something called as 80. Next one is what? Medical treatment of dependent mother, 80DD as well as DDB, that we'll discuss. Payment to public provident fund. So payment to public provident fund is eligible for 80C. So let us consider here 80C. Now if you see what is the total you are getting here, if we take the total of 80C CCC CCD subsection 1, you are getting 2,70,000 as a total. But what 80CC says? Maximum I can't give you more than 1,50,000. So even though it is more than 1,50,000, it is restricted to what? 1,50,000. Now here if you observe how you are getting this 1,50,000, 80C, LIC and PPF 1 lakh, and your 80CCC is coming to 1,10,000. Total put together is what? 2,10,000. That means not even a single rupee you are taking from 80CCD subsection 1. As you are not able to avail 80CCD subsection 1, ultimately what will happen? 80CCD 1B applies. To what extent? To the differential or 50,000 whichever is least. So here entire 60,000 was not taken. 60,000 or 50,000, what is least? 50,000 is reached. So ultimately, the maximum eligible deduction under 80C, triple C, CCD subsection 1, 1B. What is the total? The total is coming to 2 lakhs. We are restricting that to 2 lakhs. That's what is the summary of your 80C, triple C, CCD subsection 1, CCD subsection 2. Okay. So quickly take a note of what we have discussed. So we will proceed to the working note number 2 as well as working note number 3. Okay, so now let us go to second working note. Computation of deduction under section 80D. So deduction under section 80D. Medical paid. Here basically medical insurance premium paid. Medical insurance premium paid on self is what? 20? 25,000. So any person paying medical premium on self, spouse and children, dependent children, ultimately up to 25,000 it is eligible for deduction. Now, any sort of medical insurance premium paid on father being senior citizen, what will do? Senior citizen ultimately will be allowing to the extent of what? Maximum extent is 50,000. So here the expense incurred is 47. Eligibility is also 47. Now let us see the other aspect here. He is also telling there is a preventive health checkup. Preventive health checkup on his father. As a preventive health checkup incurred on his father, expenditure incurred is 5. If I consider 5,000 in the hands of father, the total expenditure becomes 50. So ultimately 5,000 is restricted to 3,000. Now what is the amount of deduction under section 80D? The amount of deduction is nothing but 25,000 plus 50,000. Total put together the SC can take a deduction of 75,000 in the terms of 80D. Now there are only two things left of 80DD as well as 80DD. Now let us see what is 80DD. What is 80DD? Any sort of expenses incurred on a disabled. Any sort of expenses incurred on a disabled is ultimately covered as a part of your section 80DD. Treatment of disabled. So here it is mentioned medical treatment of dependent mother suffering from prescribed disease and disability. Disability is forming part of your 80DD and specified disease is coming as a part of your DDB. Now here, whenever the disability case occurs, partial disability 75,000, severe disability 1,25,000. In this case, the disability is not mentioned. So let us assume that as partial. So as it is partial, what is the amount of deduction? 75,000 is the amount of deduction. This let us explain as a part of your working note number 3 that assuming disability is partial. That's your working note number 3. Now finally the last working note number 4, what is that? Well, last working note is nothing but treatment for specified disease. Now when you consider 80DDB, what it says? Now it says least of the following is allowed as deduction. What is the least? If we come to the least, here the first one is what? The first one is nothing but expenditure incurred. What is the expenditure incurred? The expenditure incurred here is being 1 lakh 50,000. Expenditure incurred is 1,50,000 or rupees what? 1 lakh. 1,50,000 or rupees 1 lakh, whichever is waste is eligible for deduction under 80 DDB. So here eligibility is what? 1 lakh. So the amount of deduction eligible is going to be 1 lakh. Now, but one thing we should remember, as we have discussed when we are going through 80 DDB, whenever you receive any sort of insurance or any sort of reimbursement from the employer or insurance company, that amount has to be reduced from your amount of eligible amount when you calculate your 80 DD. So here, as you are receiving 10,000 from insurance, 10,000 rupees from insurance and 20,000 from the reimbursement, you are having also some reimbursement from whom? Reimbursement from reimbursed by employer. So ultimately 10,000 plus 20,000, total 30,000 is the thing which I need to reduce. So ultimately the SC can take only the amount of 70,000 rupees as reduction. So here 70,000 is the rupees of reduction. So ultimately the total income of the SSC for the assessment year 2021 is going to be 1,57,000. So with this, we have done one part of your 80 deductions. What? Section 80C, 80CCC, CCD subsection 1, CCD subsection 1B, CCD subsection 2, as well as your 80D, 80DD, as well as 80DDB. So total from 80C to 80DDB we have completely closed, and we have seen a cumulative problem where the impact of 80C to 80DDB are there. Okay, so just take this down so that we'll proceed on to the other section, which is nothing but what? As we had finished 80E. Now let us try to see 80EE and also the other subsequent section 80EEA. So these two sections, 80EE as well as section 80EEA we'll try to understand. Then once we finish off 80EEA, we'll immediately move on to something called as our 80EEB. With that I can say E series is done. Then we can move on to G series. 80G, 80GG, 80GGB, sorry, GGA, GGB, GGC. All the 5 sections which you are having in G series, we can automatically finish that. Clear? So first quickly take this down. Then we'll move on to the 80EE.